When they found Mr. Doyle, the air in his room was cold enough to miss the orderly's breath. He sat upright in bed, hands resting on his knees, eyes wide and empty. Not dead in the ordinary sense, but emptied of everything that once made him human. His pupils had shrunk to tiny pinholes, burned gray by light, and his mouth was slightly open, as though he had tried to speak a final thought that froze before escaping. One orderly whispered that he looked like a statue left too long in the frost. Another swore he saw the faintest movement in Doyle's fingertips, as if the body still remembered the rhythm of the refractor's light. When Dr. Finch arrived, his face betrayed no surprise. He only observed, silent, meticulous, and then smiled faintly, like a craftsman examining a finished piece. He told the men to handle the body carefully, as though moving a fragile instrument, and record the time of death as unknown. Finch's notes later described the treatment as overly successful. He wrote that the subject's cognitive patterns had collapsed inward, sealing themselves into perfect stillness. To him, Doyle had not perished. He had completed the process. The doctor stood over the body for a long while, his gloved hands clasped behind his back, humming that same lullaby under his breath. He felt a deep, private satisfaction bloom inside him, the kind of warmth a sculptor might feel when the marble finally yields to the shape hidden within. He believed Doyle's silence was not the end, but the threshold of something extraordinary. The orderlies carried the rigid form through the dim corridors toward the basement mortuary. Each step echoed too loudly, bouncing through the pipes, disturbing the fragile calm of dawn. In the shadows, Elspeth watched from her doorway, pale and trembling. She did not speak. She only stared at Doyle's unmoving face as it passed, the faint trace of a smile on his lips, the gleam of light frozen on his eyes. That night she heard new whispers through her vent. Faster now, breathless, like something in the walls was learning to mimic human voices. Down in the mortuary, Finch supervised the placement of Doyle's body on a metal table. The smell of rust and antiseptic mingled with the cold. He ordered the lamps dimmed, preferring half light for what he called further study. He did not allow anyone else to remain. Behind the locked door, he stood over the corpse and whispered softly to it, thanking Doyle for his service, for surrendering so completely. He traced his fingers down the man's temple, following the imagined geometry beneath the skin, and wrote one final line in his ledger before extinguishing the lamp. The form remains intact. The structure is learning to breathe,